Namaste and welcome to the Essence of Knowledge weekly meeting. This meeting is a part of the Essence of Knowledge program, which is available for all seekers online and for free on gyanmarg.guru. In these meetings, I try to answer your questions regarding the program and the path of knowledge, and to help in your verification process. We conduct exams and I try to help in your practices, purification, knowledge dissemination, etc. So all questions are most welcome. You can write them down here in the window. Okay, we have a long question by Bhupen. So we'll start with that. My question in the meeting on 25 was that path of knowledge says that the experience and the experiencer are coexisting. Then is the dissolved state of mind a myth? Now, as the dissolved state of mind is not a myth, and this means just to seize one event in the entire experience, then on further contemplation in this topic, I got two unsolved questions in my mind. The first question is, what is the point in dissolving such events by the seekers after knowing that this will not at all make the experience gone in total, and against the dissolved mind there is probability that another event pop out somewhere else? And the second question is, if the dissolved state of mind is possible, then logically the dissolved state of the universal mind is also possible. And if at all this ever happens, then how does the universal memory gets its first ever imprint to manifest the experience again? So very good questions. And the answer to the first question is, there is no point. There is no point in trying to achieve a specific state of the mind, because they are all illusory. Unless some state of the mind, whether it is dissolved or silent mind in other states such as subtle states, the only use of these other states is to make the seeker progress. If the seeker is progressing by this, then there is some meaning in achieving that kind of state. And secondly, it totally depends on the desire of the seeker. What do they want? You want this state, you want that state, or you want dissolved state? And then because of compassion of the teacher, that method is given and that state is achieved. But since all the states are simply impermanent illusions, nothing remains. There is absolutely no point. So what do I mean by the progress of the seeker? On the path of knowledge, the progress is only removal of ignorance. The more ignorance is shed, the more progress happens. So if there is some ignorance and that is not going away in normal state of the mind, remember this waking state of the mind, waking state is also impermanent illusion. Nothing special about this state. So if the knowledge is not happening here for some reason, some blockage, then some other state will be given. Totally depends on the seeker and the teacher. Ultimately, if the knowledge is not happening here in this state today, right now, then there is no possibility of it happening in any other state, because all states are experiences and they are being experienced by the same experiencer, which is essence of the existence, essentially the existence. So nothing goes away because nothing came. There is no time. There are no states. It is all appearing like this, and knowledge is possible in every state. You are the highest already. That is the knowledge. You are the ultimate. Everybody is essentially same. If this simple thing is not realized right now, there is no point in actually walking on this path. Second question, yes, it is possible for the universal mind to dissolve. Yes. Because there are all possibilities in the existence. It is infinite potential. So anything can appear. And yes, it can appear that the universal mind is not there. Who will witness this? Again, the experiencer. And will it remain like this? No. Just like I said, all states are impermanent illusions. So something appears back, something appears again, because it is pure potential only that is being manifested. So for a while, it can appear like everything is gone, but it will not be known, because the one who wants to know it will be gone. Even if this happens, and there won't be any knowledge or memory of it. Because as you know, knowledge happens through senses in a structure called memory, logical connections. And when you say universal mind is gone, that means everything is gone. Knowledge is impossible here. But yes, the experiencer will remain. And because it is an impermanent event, something will reappear. And nobody will ever know that and the universal mind disappeared. So the disappearance of the universal mind, or it is called pralay, mahapralay in Sanskrit, will be a logical assumption. I am not saying it is illogical because it follows from the infinite possibility in the existence. It is completely logical to assume, but it will remain unknowable because that thing which knows, that thing through which the knowledge happens, will also be gone. When it comes back, what will be the first imprint here? And since there is infinite possibility, again, the same infinite possibility reappeared, it can reappear in any way. There are infinite imprints already there. Already it is like this. So when it reappears, it reappears with infinite imprints. Think about it. This is again logical conclusion because we'll never see this. We'll never see like this. There is a very good example in scriptures. When you go to sleep and a dream appears, the dream is appearing out of the potential of the local memory. Local memory means you can say human memory. How does it appear? What is the first imprint there? Well, the seeds are already there in the memory and anything can appear at all. All the houses, all the streets, all the people, even with their history, with the history of the dream, false history, will be there. All the people, even you will be there. So same way, when the universe awakens from a sleep, which never will happen actually, it will start dreaming again with infinite possibilities again. There is no cause and effect here. That there is nothing now. So what will cause the first imprint? No. There is everything here already. And it will cause anything it wants. I mean, anything at all. This is simply our intellectual and logical play of words. There is no truth in whatever I said. So Arvind has a question. Direct experience is considered as valid means of knowledge. But experience itself is illusory. Even knowledge gained is organized as memory, which is also an illusion. So how can we reach the truth through all that is illusory? Very good question. And this is handled in your chapter on knowing, chapter number 10. My suggestion is to listen to it again, but I'll tell you in brief. So it is true that all experience is simply illusion. It is stored as an illusion in the memory, which is illusion. So how to reach the truth? Remember, that which is stored is ignorance. We start from ignorance. We start from false. So the process of gaining knowledge is simply removal of that which is stored. This is the key word, key sentence. It is not that some knowledge is getting added in the memory. No, nothing will get added in the memory. Only that which was assumed will be erased from the memory. So we are erasing the illusion. We are slowly removing the illusion by a process called the path of knowledge, the method of knowledge. So what happens is, let us take an example. When did the existence begin? Suppose a curious person has this question. On the path of knowledge, we want to know something, isn't it? So let us say this is the question. Now we start the analysis using our 7 questions as usual and try to find an experience where it begins. And obviously there you won't find that experience. Then we use logic that if it is beginning, I am standing there looking at it, that it is starting now, the existence. But the existence is already there in my form. As a human being, I am holding the clock, I am holding a notebook, I am recording what is happening. Now there is nothing, now something is starting. So that event itself already exists. So what has happened is my ignorance that the existence starts somewhere in time got destroyed by simple observation, direct experience and logic. What is the direct experience here? You will say, you cannot go in the beginning of the existence. So how is this direct experience? So it is very easy. Whenever something starts, whenever, let us say, day starts after night, you are present there to witness the beginning of the day. The sun rises, the darkness goes, and the light happens, morning. And your belief that I can get a direct experience of the existence starting is based on this direct experience of the day starting. Just like everything else starts, and you have imposed this idea of starting, beginning on the existence itself. The whole existence means the whole everything. That is the direct experience of starting something. And we try to find such an experience. But we know already that it won't be possible. So whatever was assumed about the beginning of the existence got removed from the memory. In one sentence, we can say that existence is beginningless. In Sanskrit, anadi. By the same process, it is endless, ananta. Just one example. So what has happened is my belief or my assumption that existence will begin and it will end has been destroyed. This destruction is called knowledge. Nothing was added. Nothing was added in the memory. Whatever was stored in the memory was shown to be false. So when we remove one by one everything that is assumed or we imagine somehow, which is our ignorance, we reach a cleaned up memory. We reach a purified intellect, purified memory. We have erased everything. Remember, the purification means removal, not addition. When you want to purify something, you remove something from it. For example, if you want to purify water, you remove whatever is present in the water, whatever is dissolved in the water, you remove that, and whatever is left is pure. So when you remove whatever is present in the memory, what is left? The pure being. It is not knowing, it is being. There is no knowledge now, no assumptions. So we reach a state of unknowing, and this unknowing is not extra knowledge, and it is not the old ignorance. It is beyond knowledge and ignorance, and that position is called agnostic position. Technically, agnostic. Gnosis means knowledge in old European language. Agnostic means not knowledge, but not ignorance also, isn't it? Unknowing. Unknowing is the highest state of the mind. So this is how we employ direct experience and logic to reach that which we are. Now you are established in your original being without ignorance and without knowledge. So path of knowledge does not give us knowledge. It is simply removal of that which is assumed to be knowledge. Now you have used a word truth. Remember, truth is a kind of knowledge. What is that knowledge of truth? According to our definition, that which does not change is the truth. This is how it is defined. You are free to define it in any way. That is what the chapter on the truth says, that truth is arbitrary and subjective. So define it in any way. When you know that thing, what is true, what is false, you have reached the truth. So we have defined in the truth on the path of knowledge as that which is unchanging. And this is called the ultimate truth, because there cannot be a better definition of truth. This is the homework for a seeker, that why there cannot be a better criteria of truth. All that which changes is false, the unchanging is true. This is categorization, knowledge. Remember, knowledge includes many relations in the memory. One kind of relation is categorization, like categorization of animals. This is dog, this is cat, this is cow, this is elephant. Same way, we try to categorize what is true and what is false. And because of this criteria, everything that changes comes out to be false. And there is only one thing which remains unchanging throughout these changing experiences, that will be called the experiencer, and it is not an experience. This is also a negative knowledge. Remember, let me check whether the objects change. Yes, they change. Removed from truth. Removal. Let me see if the body changes. Yes. Mind changes. Yes. What is it that's not changing? It is the existence itself, which is me. I am the same existence appearing as a form, name and form. So by removing that which is changing, we reach that which is unchanging. This is how we reach the truth, which I was already there. We did not get something new here. We did not get a truth which is not already me. Remember this thing. We return to ourselves. We do not go to the truth somewhere, come back. This is possible only after removing all that layers of ignorance that were covering that which is unchanging. The unchanging is also called the nature or true nature or essential nature. And there are many names like you already know. It is also called the I, capital I. And it is also called the self with capital S. It is also called the witness or the observer. There are many, many names. If you add Sanskrit names, then probably you will get 50, 60 names of this true essence. So how did we reach that truth? Not by adding some more illusion in the memory. Not through a direct experience of something new that we never experienced. No. We simply went on removing everything. Not removing it in a random way. We check. We use intellect, isn't it? We check it thoroughly. We try all the possibilities. And then we discard it. And whatever remains whatever cannot be removed is the truth. Truth is a specific kind of knowledge only. Knowledge of the essence, essential nature. And that will be called the self-realization. That is the final knowledge. And once we know that, yes, the essential nature of everything, the whole existence, is this one experiencer only. And that will be called realization of oneness or non-dual realization, technical word, realization of non-duality. So again, the word is chosen very carefully because we reach only non-duality. We do not reach oneness because there is no knowledge in oneness. There is only unknowing there. There is only unknowing. And that is why we say, in the existence there is no knowledge and there is no ignorance also. It is pure. The key word to remember here is negative knowledge. And that is told on the chapter number 5, Means of Knowledge. Chapter number 5, Means of Knowledge. There we introduced the word, two concepts. One is positive knowledge, which is about presence of something. And the second is negative knowledge, which is about absence. Presence means something was added in the memory, some relation was formed, and absence means it was erased. And there I say, on the path of knowledge, negative knowledge is more useful, not positive. And at that point, many people are surprised because their notion of negative knowledge is something bad, something which is harmful, negativity. But remember, we are in the domain of philosophy here, and your ordinary dictionary is useless. The words in the dictionary are meaningless. The meaning of the negative knowledge is that which remains in the memory after removal of beliefs. The intellect is used to purify the intellect because we don't have any other tool. The mind is the only instrument that is also mentioned in the chapter. So, a good healthy mind is needed. A good healthy mind resides in a healthy body. So, a healthy body-mind equipment, instrument is needed. How do we define that instrument as healthy or unhealthy? Using the qualities of the seeker. That is another chapter in your program. That body-mind organism must have these qualities to get the knowledge. So now you can connect all the dots from chapter number 10 to chapter number 1. All that will become clear. So remember these things. On the path of knowledge, there is no knowledge. That which is gained is not knowledge. That which is lost is knowledge. So that is negative knowledge. In the end, we do not get something. We become that which we already are. In the end, we do not know a truth which we never knew. We find that I am the truth. There is nothing more than this I am. And it is very simple. It is without qualities, without attributes, changeless. And therefore, we invent another name. Emptiness. It is empty, devoid of everything. Whatever we thought it has or it will have, I'll get it. We don't get anything. Empty. However, how is it possible that it is also everything? Whatever we are discarding as illusion, isn't it? It is also that. So we invent another word to describe it. Infinite potential. Or you can combine them in one word. It is called Brahman in Sanskrit. In our terminology, it will be called existence. That is what exists. And now it cannot be called as existing because whatever is there is illusion, and whatever is the essence is empty. So here the intellect is silenced. It means there is nothing to say, only silence, pure silence. And that silence means that memory where the knowledge was stored and ignorance was stored and whatever was stored is now clear. It is purified completely. Not even one word is coming out of it. Because even one word is like a noise. It is all false. Like the window glass. When it is covered with the dust, you do not see what is on the other side. But when it is cleaned, nothing remains. Then you won't even see the glass. You will see whatever is there outside the window as it is. Remember, this is only a metaphor example. To see things as they are, we need to clean this instrument through which we are looking. That is the final goal of the path of knowledge. That is the end of the knowledge. Discarding the illusion, discarding the false, coming in our true nature, establishing in our true nature. Not knowing something which is grand and about which we can write a book. No. You won't be able to say even one word because it is all pure, because it is all purified. It's all gone. You can call this state as unknowing. You can call it nirvana. You can call it moksha. You can call it liberation. Whatever you want, you can call it. It does not matter. Is there something remaining there? If yes, that is all ignorance. If nothing is there, even thoughts are not possible about it, it's gone. Everything is gone. Now everything is as it is. Before knowledge, same thing. After knowledge, same thing. So nothing is gained on the path of knowledge. So it is a very interesting approach. Now some people will say, why should we do all this hard work to reach the unknowable? I already don't know anything. After knowledge also I don't know anything. So why to do all this exercise? And the answer is very simple. That unknowing which remains after knowledge will not be able to make you ignorant. You will not fall back in ignorance because you have the method to come back in silence. But if you don't have this method, if you're not trained and you simply assume, yes, there is no knowledge, then it is possible to fall back in ignorance. So do you want to fall back in ignorance? That is decided by the seeker. If the seeker says, no, I don't want the ignorance, then the path is open. If the seeker says, I am happy, whatever I have, Atman, Brahman, I don't care, I am happy. Whatever you are saying are just words, word soup, noodle soup of words. It is all intellectual knowledge, like people say. Outside the path of knowledge, they cannot see more than words because they never walked on it. So if the seeker says, yes, it's all okay, your philosophy is beautiful but useless, that means they do not want anything, which is fine. So fully knowing that nothing will be gained here, we want this thing, the pure intellect, we want this. The pure intellect will be called by many names, like pragya or clear mind, pure mind, whatever you want to call it. Different philosophies have different names. So that is why everything is lost. Your all illusions will be lost. Delusions will be lost. Like I am a human being, it's gone. I have a body, gone. No body. I have a mind, I have memory. It's all gone. I have nothing. Yes, pure mind. See, removed. And this nothing is the only truth. It is not called nothing because it is something. It is empty. Everybody should think about this. Arvind is saying, logic is also considered a valid means of knowledge. Logic is useful only if it can be verified by direct experience. Does it mean that logic alone is useful in formulating hypotheses and theories which are falsifiable only? If you say logic alone, I'll think that it has no direct experience behind it. So when the meaning of logic alone is like this, that any logic which has no direct experience behind it, then it is not useful to formulate hypotheses or theories. There has to be some phenomena about which the logic says something. Direct experience comes first And based on the direct experience, based on the regularities or patterns that we observe, our intellect can find out in that direct experience, something logical can be said. And that something will be called hypothesis, theory, like you have given the examples. It is a consistent observation that 2 mangoes, when you put down with 2 more mangoes and you count, you always get 4. This is based on direct experience. When you try to count apples, which is also direct experience, add apples, yes, that logic will be useful in predicting that there will be 4 apples. However, in case of unicorns, because there is no direct experience of it, it never had anything like this. Even though the logic will say 4 unicorns, but it is not falsifiable. You cannot actually perform that experiment to add 2 unicorns into your stable of unicorns. But you can perform that experiment of adding 2 apples to apples. It is possible. That is falsifiable, because if you add 2 apples in a basket, if you count them, if there are 5, then the logic is falsified. So logic alone is not reliable. But if it is falsifiable using a direct experience, it is very reliable. So hopefully I understood your question. If not, if you did not get the answer, you can ask me again in different words if you want. The logic which is based on direct experience is called sound logic. Sound. That is also mentioned clearly in the chapter on means of knowledge. We don't want any other logic like mathematical logic or abstract logic. No, we want sound logic. There will be some paths where unfounded logic, unsound logic will also cause some useful results, like in mathematics. And that will be called true. For example, this graph is plotted in 20 dimensions and now I can take a square root of this quantity here in 20 dimensions. It is possible. That will be true. But that is the truth of mathematical domain, an imaginary reality, which is 20 dimensional or whatever. Sometimes it has useful applications in physics. In that field, it is not totally useless, abstract logic. But what are we trying to do here? We are trying to clear that which is already present in the memory, and therefore it has to be sound logic. We don't have any trouble with mathematicians and logic of mathematics. There are many systems of logic there. But the path of knowledge or Advaita Vedanta has a very simple system of logic. It's called binary logic. Binary logic means 2 things cannot be true at the same time. Those who are more interested in theory of logic, they need to study the Indian Nyaya philosophy and the Western, the whole logic from Greek logic to the modern logic. Those who are interested, and let me tell you, it is not a small adventure. It will take many years. You will understand a little bit. What have we done on the path of knowledge? Especially in our program, we have utilized 2 or 3 logical conclusions to get what we want. What do we want? Knowledge of the self, knowledge of the illusion, knowledge of oneness. And they are very simple things. Like the experience cannot be in the category of the experiencer. Experiencer cannot be an experience. If there is no distance between 2 things and there is no time gap between 2 things, that is actually one thing. That which changes every time is false. See, all these logical, you can say, axioms are used and they are very solid. You cannot disprove them. You cannot falsify them. And so they yield reliable knowledge. And for us, fortunately, it is very easy because it is simply removal. We are not trying to find something extraordinary. Hopefully it is clear. But this question points to the foundation of the path of knowledge, how it was founded. We are lucky that we got pre-cooked, ready-made path of knowledge. But the founders probably struggled for many 100 years to say this thing, I am Brahman. It took probably thousands of years. We are fortunate we got it in a few hours. So everybody is invited to recheck the foundations of the path of knowledge, how it was founded. First thing you can do is check the logic that is used in our path of knowledge. Wherever we say by logic this follows, you should double check it, because direct experience you don't have any doubt. It is your own. Logic, there can be a doubt. For that, to check whether logic is correct or not, you need a very sharp intellect. So sharpen the intellect by studying the systems of logic. Then no doubt will be left in your mind. You can take a shortcut and reach the unknowing without logic. Like let us take the same example. When did existence begin? Now you can simply say the direct experience is not possible here. You see, that much is enough. It's not possible. I don't know. As soon as you say I don't know, the memory is cleared. The impurity is gone. Shortcut, isn't it? But a very intelligent person will not agree here. Absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. Any intelligent person will say like this. So what is the next best we can do is examine our belief of starting something, how something starts, and try to conclude logically whether that belief is applicable to the whole existence. And you will get an illogical answer that no matter what I do, I cannot imagine a scene where the existence is starting. Unknowable, you will say. Unknowable. That is what you came to know through the shortcut. Now we say it is thorough. It is proven thoroughly that existence has no beginning. There is second method. If there is no time, there is no question of beginning and end. So check if my belief of time being true is true or not. Is there time? And that can be experienced directly, that there is only present, or even you cannot say present. There is only this. And the past is a fabrication of the memory. And the future is a projection of the memory. Remove the memory, there is only this. There is not nothing, but there is only this. Now, the question of beginning and end is illogical. Another shortcut, isn't it? Now the ignorance is cleared by simply showing that there is no time. Time is imagination. Another ignorance which led to me thinking that something can start. And the interesting byproduct of this, there being no time, is that nothing can start. Not only the existence, any event, any illusion, nothing will start. And so it will not end. So the glass is not only cleaned, it is broken. It's gone forever. It is so thorough. You can go on collecting evidences regarding your doubt that existence has a beginning. Suppose you collect 10 evidences like this. I have given you 3 or 4 right now. People have already done that. It is amazing. And once your intellect is happy, you are happy, let us say. Yeah, I came to know there's no start. That is called proven. It is proven. Interesting thing is, since many thousand years, nobody has proven this wrong. Nobody has said that I know a way to find the beginning of the existence. We'll use the same example here. Nobody. There are hypotheses, there are theories. They're all unproven. They're not falsifiable. And there are imaginations, there are stories which are totally useless on the path of knowledge. We want solid knowledge. Collecting facts and reading books, simply assuming this as true and that as false, is adding to the memory, not removing. It will not take you to unknowing. It will not establish you in your true nature. Never. Only clean up. And that cleanup must not be done arbitrarily, without any method. That, okay, I drop everything now. No, it won't be satisfactory. The cleanup happens only when you have collected at least 3 or 4 or 5 evidences. Why so many? It depends on the people, isn't it? Actually, only one evidence is enough. One evidence that is sufficient and necessary clears it. So, what is the sufficient and necessary evidence? You can find that in the books on logic, justice, law, nyaya, philosophy. Those who want to go deeper, I've gone very deep and I'm satisfied with the conclusion. So remember Patanjali, the second verse in the Yoga Sutras, that when the tendencies of the mind or whatever is going on in the mind are silenced, are gone, destroyed, then the observer is situated in their true nature. Those who want Sanskrit, they can read it in Sanskrit. It means this. Are we not doing the same? That which is in the mind, the tendencies that cause questions, and there's nothing bad in that, but they cause ignorance. When they're silent, they're cleared, gone, then you are established in your true nature. That is the goal of the path of knowledge. And incidentally, that is the goal of the yoga. They have a different method. When they are established there, wherever they want, they call it samadhi. Same thing. And we call it unknowing. Same thing. Isn't there silence here? Isn't this blissful? It is like a load has been dropped. Load of ignorance. Burden of ignorance. Now you're free to fly. That is liberation. Rinki is saying, so there is existence, experiencing, an experiencer. Here I am not getting what experiencing actually is. If you please can explain with example. Experiencing is the state of the existence. In one line you can say. Experiencing is that which is happening in the existence. What is happening in the existence? There is an experience and there is an experiencer, but they are one. Is there anything else? And you can check. Like we said, seeker seeks. The seeker wants to find out. The seeker wants to get the evidence. So try to see if there is anything else. And the secret is revealed that there is nothing else other than this experiencer experiencing the experience. In one word, that is existence. That is what exists. That is what is. Remember, the definition of existence is that which is. Astitva. Asti means is. And the English translation of astitva is existence. You can see the similarity in the word because it comes from the same language, old language. So, experiencing is the state of the existence where it is simply witnessing its own illusory forms. What is happening right now? Can anybody tell me? Neelam, Bhupen, Arvind. What is happening right now? Huh? Very good. That is a good start. Neelam has the right answer. You are listening to me. That is an experience. That which is getting the experience, the witness of it is the experiencer. There is nothing more. And I'll tell you the secret. There will be nothing more. Never will be there anything else. This is your homework to find out. If you can find something, you can tell me in the Satsang. Because that will be a discovery worthy of Nobel Prize. Experiencing is right now. We don't need example. It is current state. Whose state? Not your state. Not state of the mind. Existence is in this state. It exists like this. Remember the first sentence of your program. First chapter, first sentence. What is the essential knowledge? Existence is experiencing itself in illusory forms. And it is the experiencer. The dreamer is the dream. The dream is the dreamer. End of knowledge, I say it. Many people must be shocked. I've seen many people leave after that. No, it cannot be. That cannot be the knowledge. Knowledge means that which can fill a whole library. This is our ignorance, isn't it? This is our assumption. And the simplest way of being is the highest knowledge on the path of knowledge. Can anything be known here? You can say, yes, I know the words that you are saying. No, it is illusion, like Arvind said. If you know the illusion, that knowledge will be illusion, direct product of the illusion. So nothing will be known. Reverse is possible. It is possible to let go. It's possible to drop, clean up, purify. On the path of knowledge, it is done directly. Like I took you to experiencing in one sentence. Yes, Rinki could not find out because you are new. No problem. You are a new seeker. Neelam has the experience now. She is trained. So as you progress on the path, you will come to know. So in experiencing, the experiencer and the experience are not different. They are never different. The existence was divided into two for the purpose of study, analysis. How does our intellect know something? By dividing. The way to study by dividing is called analysis. That's what we did for many things. You remember chapters, analysis of this, analysis of that. And how do we know the totality? By synthesis. We combine the parts. We break it down, we combine. This is the standard way of knowing. It is also called the scientific method. So you must have seen children. When you give them toy, they want to know what is it. How do they know it? They break it down into pieces. Sometimes somebody who is very brilliant child, they can put it back. They can fix it. Now you can see the smile on his face. He knows what it is, whatever that is, car or plane or animal. And we are like children trying to find what is this existence. So we break it into two first. We study it. But it cannot be separated. So in experiencing, they are not gone. They are there as a part, as components. For example, you take milk in one bottle, water in other bottle. You can mix it in one container. What is there? Watered milk. But is the milk separate and the water separate? No. Is there no milk now? No. Is there no water now? No. They are not two. Advaita. So this is example, if you wanted example, not two. So another example, take a paper. On one side, you can assume it is the experience. Other side, you can assume the experiencer. There is no distance between them and they are always together. And that paper is experiencing, state of experiencing, both being together, inseparable. And that is what exists. That is what a paper is. Sometimes you can look at one side, other side. It is possible. But only it is an intellectual exercise. The paper cannot be separated into two pages. You can turn it one side, you can turn the other side. It will remain one. Right now it is like this. Yes, there will be doubt. Because just like I said, you are untrained. Your intellect is not completely purified. Many people, not only people in our program, those who are starting. So it will take some experimentation, some direct experience, some contemplation. Just whatever we are doing right now is contemplation only, isn't it? It is contemplation. Use your direct experience. Use your intellect. And clear the dirt of ignorance. For this, the method is simply helpful. The words are simply means. Logic, yes, helpful. Simply knowing the word will not take you to unknowing or experiencing. Remember, experiencing is one, unknowing. There is no difference. Knowing is a tendency in the mind. It is a process in the mind. So you need to be trained like this. Trained in correct thinking, dropping the incorrect. That is more important. Dropping the false. You will never get that which is true. You will never know something. You will arrive in your own purity, in your own nature. So much so that you will not want to know anything more, because you already know that I have done a lot of hard work to come to this place of peace and bliss. Now I don't want to disturb it. And so you will lose interest in everything. That is called detachment. So detachment is a natural outcome of knowledge. And to stay as experiencing, stay as Brahman, is equivalent to Samadhi. It is called Sahaj Samadhi or the natural Samadhi, because it's already there. It is already there. You simply need to clear the dirt of ignorance. It is there, already there. So nobody wants to disturb it by adding more into it. So they go silent. They withdraw from the illusion. Because illusion means more and more will keep on coming. And they disappear somewhere. We don't know where. This human being is a product of illusion, isn't it? It's a product of ignorance. So it disappears. But that is not very important. Because anyway it will disappear. So we are not in a hurry. The thing is not to expect anything. Not appearing, not disappearing, not peace of mind, not bliss. Nothing should be expected. Because expectation itself is an impurity. It does not mean that I don't wish it. It does not mean that I don't desire knowledge. It simply means that I am not attached, I am not hopeful of getting anything. But I am hopeful of losing many things. I expect that everything will be lost, everything will be cleared. Since it is all an illusion, even the ignorance was an illusion, isn't it? It was happening on the background of truth. Truth never goes away. That is the quality of the truth. That is the characteristic of the truth. It does not go away. If it goes away, it's not true. So all the ignorance was happening on the screen of truth. Now there is no need of getting rid of anything because it's actually not happening. It's not, the ignorance is actually not there. So we accept everything back. Now the world is true, body is true, I am true. It's okay if I have ego. It's okay if I have impurities. They are all illusion. It was whole and complete before. You know something does not mean that it has become something better. No, it is whole and complete right now. It will remain whole and complete. Nothing was lost. Nothing was gained. It can sound a little bit strange. It is beautiful. So when I say on the path of knowledge, everything will be lost, people are terrified. But we are preparing them to not expect. But actually, nothing is lost also. You are the whole. Before, you were the whole. Now also you are whole and complete. You cannot say that I got it. No, it was already there. You forgot it. It's poetic way of saying that I was ignorant. So how can you become empty? It is very easy. And it becomes easier if somebody who is already empty guides you. That will be your guru. Yes, you can read books and you can study and all these things. Yes. But the books are not empty. They are full of words. So Lord will be added in your mind. That is a good start. No problem at all. And ultimately you will need a guru. So here I think we can end today's meeting. If there are any more questions, you can ask me in the next one. And hopefully you will become empty. Thank you everybody for attending today's satsang. I'll see you next time. Namaste.